Are you tired of being manipulated without even realizing it? Whether it's in personal relationships, at work, or even in everyday interactions, manipulation tactics can be subtle yet powerful tools used by others to control or influence you. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of heavy manipulation tactics that you need to know about. From gaslighting to guilt, tripping, these tactics can leave you feeling confused, stressed, and powerless. By understanding how manipulation works and being able to recognize these tactics, you can empower yourself to set boundaries and protect your well-being. Join me on this eye-opening journey as we uncover the secrets behind some of the most insidious manipulation techniques out there. Arm yourself with the knowledge and awareness you need to navigate tricky situations and relationships with confidence. Don't be a victim of manipulation. Become a savvy observer who sees through the deception and takes back control of your own narrative. Tune in now and equip yourself with the tools to spot manipulation from a mile away. The topic of heavy manipulation tactics can be both intriguing and concerning, as it delves into the darker aspects of human behavior and psychology. Understanding these tactics is crucial in order to protect oneself from being manipulated and to recognize when others may be employing such strategies. In this comprehensive guide, we will explore some of the most common heavy manipulation tactics that you need to be aware of. Number 1. One of the most prevalent manipulation tactics is gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation that seeks to make the victim doubt their own thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. This often involves the manipulator denying or downplaying their actions, making the victim feel as though they are going crazy or imagining things. Gaslighting can be particularly insidious as it undermines the victim's sense of reality and self-confidence. By recognizing the signs of gaslighting, such as frequent denial and distortion of facts, you can protect yourself from falling prey to this manipulative tactic. Number 2. Another effective manipulation tactic is guilt tripping, which involves making someone feel guilty or responsible for something in order to get them to comply with the manipulator's wishes. This can be done through subtle hints, passive, aggressive remarks, or outright accusations that aim to evoke feelings of shame or obligation in the victim. By recognizing when someone is attempting to guilt trip you, you can assert your boundaries and refuse to be manipulated into doing something that you are not comfortable with. Number 3. Love bombing is another manipulation tactic that involves showering someone with excessive affection, compliments, and attention in order to quickly establish a deep emotional connection. This tactic is often used in the early stages of a relationship to create a sense of intimacy and dependency, making it easier for the manipulator to exert control over the victim later on. By being mindful of the speed and intensity of a new relationship, and paying attention to any red flags, you can protect yourself from falling for the allure of love bombing. Number 4. Isolation is a manipulation tactic that involves cutting someone off from their support network, such as friends and family, in order to increase their dependency on the manipulator. By isolating the victim, the manipulator can exert greater influence and control over their thoughts and actions, making it harder for them to seek help or escape the abusive situation. If you notice that someone is trying to isolate you from your loved ones or discourage you from maintaining outside connections, it is important to reach out for support and not allow yourself to become trapped in a harmful situation. Number 5. Another common manipulation tactic is projection, where the manipulator attributes their own feelings, thoughts, or behaviors onto the victim in order to deflect blame and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. This can create confusion and self-doubt in the victim, making it easier for the manipulator to avoid being held accountable for their behavior. By recognizing when someone is projecting onto you and refusing to internalize their false accusations, you can protect yourself from being manipulated in this way. Gaslighting, guilt, tripping, love bombing, isolation, and projection are just a few examples of the heavy manipulation tactics that you need to be aware of. By educating yourself about these tactics and learning to recognize the signs, you can empower yourself to protect your boundaries, assert your autonomy, and guard against manipulation in your relationships and interactions. Remember that no one has the right to control or manipulate you, and by staying vigilant and setting healthy boundaries, you can prevent yourself from falling victim to these harmful tactics. Building on the manipulation tactics previously discussed, it is important to also be aware of another common strategy known as emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation involves exploiting someone's feelings, emotions, and vulnerabilities in order to gain control over them or get them to do what the manipulator wants. This can take many forms, including playing on the victim's guilt, fear, insecurity, or sympathy to elicit a specific response or behavior. One example of emotional manipulation is playing the victim, where the manipulator portrays themselves as the innocent party in order to manipulate others into feeling sorry for them or taking their side in a conflict. This can be a powerful tactic, as it preys on the natural human instinct to empathize and help those who are perceived to be suffering. By recognizing when someone is playing the victim and evaluating the situation objectively, you can avoid being drawn into an emotionally manipulative dynamic. Another form of emotional manipulation is using fake kindness or flattery to manipulate someone's feelings and actions. This tactic involves insincere compliments, gestures, or promises designed to make the victim feel indebted or obligated to the manipulator. By being wary of excessive praise or generosity that seems too good to be true, you can protect yourself from falling for fake displays of kindness that may be intended to manipulate you. Manipulators may also employ the tactic of withholding affection, attention, or communication as a means of control. By creating a sense of uncertainty or insecurity in the victim, the manipulator can manipulate their emotions and behavior in order to gain compliance or obedience. This form of emotional manipulation can be particularly damaging, as it can erode the victim's self-esteem and sense of worth. Recognizing when someone is using the silent treatment or withdrawal of affection as a means of manipulation can help you assert your boundaries and protect your emotional well-being. It is important to note that manipulation tactics are not always overt or obvious. They can also be subtle and insidious, making them harder to detect. For example, manipulators may use tactics such as selective withholding of information, passive-aggressive behavior, or subtle threats to control and manipulate others without being overtly aggressive or confrontational. By staying vigilant and paying attention to the nuances of someone's behavior and communication, you can pick up on these subtle manipulation tactics and protect yourself from being exploited. In addition to emotional manipulation, manipulators may also use tactics such as gaslighting, guilt, tripping, love bombing, isolation, projection, and other forms of psychological manipulation to exert control over their victims. It is important to be aware of these tactics and to trust your instincts if something feels off or manipulative in a relationship or interaction. By setting clear boundaries, practicing self-care, and seeking support from trusted friends or professionals, you can protect yourself from falling victim to manipulation and maintain healthy, respectful relationships. In conclusion, understanding heavy manipulation tactics and being able to recognize them is essential for safeguarding your well-being and preserving your autonomy in relationships and interactions. By educating yourself about these tactics, staying vigilant for signs of manipulation, and asserting your boundaries when necessary, you can empower yourself to protect against manipulation and maintain healthy, authentic connections with others. Remember that no one has the right to control or manipulate you, and by staying vigilant and setting healthy boundaries, you can prevent yourself from falling victim to these harmful tactics. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope these insights help you navigate your relationships with more peace and understanding, embracing the Stoic virtues of wisdom and emotional resilience. Thank you for being a part of the Zen Wisdom Wave community. Together, we learn, we grow, and we find our path to inner peace. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.